Shalom people, this is Brother Lyles coming at you with another video. And as I see these floods and droughts and everything going on in these countries in the Middle East and Europe and South America and all over the world, it's becoming clear to me definitely that this is the hand of the Most High Yah. This is not geoengineering that a lot of people are saying. Now, has the powers that be used geoengineering against other countries? Yes, I believe that, because we've already seen how China is going to try to stop their drought by geoengineering clouds over their drought-stricken areas, and how Nigeria in Africa is doing the same thing. The problem with that is you got to have the clouds to seed. Now, we know that they have been doing chemtrails and different things here, definitely in America, to produce these weird looking skies that we have been seeing in these odd looking storm shaped clouds. I mean, these clouds and these storms and everything. But they've been mutations, right? And although they have been able to have some success, I'm not denying that. I do believe that they have used weather wars and everything. For the most part, it has cost them so much money to do it. And they have had to use so much secrecy and misinformation and disinformation, right? That the kind of stuff that we're seeing now, they could not have produced without hiding it, you know, because they would have had to just crisscross Pakistan and some of these countries with all these different flights and stuff. They couldn't have done it. This is the hands of the Most High Yah. And what I believe it is in all these countries, you have these religions, you have these gods that they bow down to. In these Islamic countries is Islam. In South America and Europe and some of these countries, a lot of these people are Catholic or whatever, so they bowing down to Mary and the fake white Jesus and all these different things, and they're praying to these gods to either stop the drought or to stop the rain, and there is not happening, right? So this is clearly Yah defeating their gods. They're defeating these powers that be that they have been praying to all these years, these fallen angels and different things, these demons that they've been praying to. This is Yah bringing them down, not just in America, but everywhere. Because in America, you know, it's been, again, the Protestant work ethic and all these different things, right? That people have been, you know, praying to, Constitution, gun rights and all that. And Yah is devastating them, right? And so what this is going to do is, this is not going to turn these people to the true and living Yah. Some it will. Some will wake up and say, hey, Allah ain't no good. Mary ain't no good. This fake white Jesus ain't no good. This gun rights and Constitution ain't no good. I need to turn to the living Elohim and his son Yeshua. But most of them, what's going to happen is they're going to just give up on any belief of any, what they call higher being, any creator at all, and say that if this God of Allah, or God of white Jesus, or whatever was real, they wouldn't let this happen. So what they're gonna do when the Antichrist come on the scene, the last Antichrist, let's say, because we already got Antichrist on the scene, but when the last Antichrist come on the scene and say, which is in Albert Pike's writings, that the Third World War would cause all the nations of the world to not believe in their different gods or whatever, and to believe in Lucifer, the light bearer, the one that brings knowledge. That all of this is to bring about that disdain for any what they would say higher power, because this is somewhat of what the Greeks transformed somewhat into when they looked at Hercules and all these that fought against the gods of Olympus, Apollos, who stole fire from the gods or whatever. That this Antichrist being, right, that have existed across the time. A lot of times these ones made themselves into a god and tried to be like Yeshua and said the gods have come down in human form, right, to get the people to worship them, like Nero and some of the Caesars, right? So that in religion, right, that people have had this devotion to all these idols and statues and Madonnas and sightings of Mary and all this stuff, that they're going to turn against that. And some of them going to turn to the real and living Elohim and his son, but most of them not. They're going to just turn against anything what they would say supernatural. Look at those people in Pakistan. They're devastated. Their hope, some of their great mosques, quote unquote, have been washed away, right? And look, even in Saudi Arabia and some of the places where they've been having all these floods and different things, these people are going to turn against that, and they're going to turn to their to the Antichrist or the Antichrist system when it comes along and say Allah ain't real, Allah ain't doing nothing for us, Allah is letting our children starve in front of us, Allah is washing our whole country away. We don't have no faith in Allah anymore. We don't have no faith in nothing. And so that we see that the Most High Yah is really bringing it, right? But some people still, even though they're going to deny their fake gods, they're not going to believe in the true and living Elohim and his son Yeshua neither. They're going to turn to the devil, which is what he wants them to do. But they shall be defeated in the end. But this makes sense why mankind is going to try to fight against Yah at the battle of Armageddon. That they're going to be able to persuade people that he is some kind of space being or something that want to come to destroy. And just like we destroy all these different gods and stuff here on earth that had us fighting against each other, that had all these religious wars, we didn't want them, and we don't want this one, right? We want to be like what? The Tower of Babel, where we gonna climb up into heaven and pull Yah down and then place a man. We're gonna be over ourselves. Belief in self, true humanism, which is what is going on right now. But Yah is gonna yet destroy all that too when he send back his son Yeshua to put down all final rebellion, right? But I just want you to understand that, right? That although these different gods, Elohims in these different countries are being put down, yet the majority of the people's devotion is not going to turn to the Most High Yah. It's going to turn to themselves, and it's going to turn to the power of humanity, because those people in Pakistan are desperate. The people in China is just desperate, right? They going to say, forget that, the God, forget the Buddhists and all these other stuff. They ain't doing nothing for us, right? And so they're going to equate our Elohim and his son Yeshua to that, and they're not. There is no other Elohims or gods besides ours. There is none, right? There is no Savior besides him. And he sent his son, right? He came, right? The Word became flesh. The words that Yah speak, it became flesh and dwelt among us, right? He took on human form, right? And dwelt among us, right? And so again, as you see all these catastrophes, just think about that in the end, as these different gods of these nations are broken by these catastrophes that Yah is bringing. He's bringing, not no geoengineering and none that he bringing. The devil gonna have a deceptive trick for those people that is not it's that mankind must band together, because these Elohims, they're not either real, or if they aren't, they're not helping us, and we must fight against them. So I want you to pay attention to that in the future, the way the different Islamic leaders and all these other religions, how they talk about it, right? You see them turn, and they're going to start talking about, hey, the power of man to get banding together against this. Which makes sense of why they also trying to blast off to the moon again, build a moon base, and then from that blast off to Mars. Because the powers that be understand that this is the Most High Yah that's doing this, and so they're in a race to get to the moon and build these bases, or at least some Elysiums around this earth, whereas they think they're gonna wait it out, right? But Yah said, though you make your nest in stars, I'm gonna as an eagle, I'm gonna bring them down, and they're having difficulty trying to get back to the moon. Yah is not gonna let it happen. So with that, I'm gonna ask you to leave a comment. I'm gonna ask you to subscribe, and I'll ask you to give this video a thumbs up. Be blessed.